Now let's move on to section B, which is based on the summary and short response task. We'll begin with the summary, as it is question 3 of your paper 1 reading paper. This question carries more marks than any other question in the paper, which makes it one of the most important sections to master. If you're aiming for a high grade, you cannot afford to ignore summary writing. To score well, you need to develop the skill of turning reading into writing by selecting the right information from the passage and rewriting it in your own words. Before we learn how to answer the question, let's first understand what the Cambridge syllabus says about this section. According to the syllabus, question 3A is the summary task. In this question, you will write a summary based on text B. Your summary must be written as one continuous piece of writing and should contain no more than 150 words. Text B is usually around 550 to 600 words long, but remember, you are not expected to summarize the entire passage. Instead, you will only summarize the specific information mentioned in the question. This question assesses both your reading and writing skills. From the reading objectives, Cambridge tests whether you can understand the information given in the passage and select only the details that answer the question. From the writing objectives, Cambridge assesses how well you organize your ideas, use appropriate vocabulary, write accurate sentences, and express the information clearly in your own words. The summary question is marked out at 20 marks. 10 marks are awarded for content, which means selecting the correct and relevant points from the passage. The other 10 marks are awarded for quality of writing, which includes writing in your own words, organizing your ideas logically, using accurate grammar, and maintaining a clear writing style. This means that simply finding the correct points is not enough. You must also present them well. Before you even begin reading text B, always read the summary question first. This is one of the biggest secrets to scoring well. By reading the question first, you'll know exactly what information you are looking for while reading the passage. Carefully underline the topic, the command words, and identify exactly what the examiner wants you to summarize. Sometimes the question asks about only one topic, while other times it asks you to summarize 2 different aspects. Make sure you recognize this before you start reading. Once you understand the question, begin reading text B carefully with the question in mind. As you read, highlight or underline only the information that answers the question. Don't underline everything. Remember, around 40 to 50% of text B is often irrelevant to the summary task. Your job is to separate the important information from the unnecessary details. Ignore stories, examples, personal opinions, repeated ideas, and explanations that do not directly answer the question. As you identify the relevant information, try to locate around 10 to 12 important content points. Cambridge usually includes more points than you actually need, so choose only the strongest and most relevant ones. Before you begin writing, group similar ideas together so that your summary flows naturally instead of sounding like a list of unrelated facts. Then, make a brief plan using bullet points. Use only information from text B and include only the information required by the question. Write in your own words wherever possible, combine related points into clear, connected ideas, and organize your ideas in a logical order. Then write your summary as one continuous paragraph. Keep it clear, concise, and relevant. Finally, check your word count, grammar, spelling, and punctuation before finishing. Remember, Cambridge rewards accurate selection of relevant ideas and clear expression, not long summaries. Now that you understand what the summary question is, let's learn the exact steps you should follow in the examination. Step 1 is to understand the question. Before reading text B, always read the summary question first. Identify the main topic, underline the command words, and work out exactly what information the examiner wants you to summarize. Also remember that the summary is always based on text B, never text A. If the question asks for 2 different aspects, make sure you identify both before you begin reading. Step 2 is to locate the relevant information. Now read text B carefully with the question in mind. Highlight only the parts that directly answer the question. Don't highlight everything because a large part of text B is usually irrelevant to the summary. Ignore examples, stories, personal opinions, explanations, repeated ideas, and interesting details that do not answer the question. Step 3 is to identify the content points. Focus only on the main ideas and try to find around 10 to 12 relevant content points. Remember, text B usually contains more information than you need, so choose only the strongest and most relevant points that answer the question. Step 4 is to plan before writing. Quickly note down your selected ideas in bullet points. This plan is only for your rough work. Make sure each bullet contains one complete idea, remove repeated information, and rearrange the points into a logical order. You do not have to follow the same order as the passage if another order makes your summary flow better. Step 5 is to write the summary. Once your planning is complete, turn your points into one continuous paragraph. Do not write your final answer in bullet points because Cambridge only accepts summaries written in paragraph form. Use your own words wherever possible. Keep your writing formal, concise, and focused, and aim for about 140 to 148 words so that you stay safely within the 150-word limit. One of the most important skills in summary writing is writing in your own words. Cambridge rewards candidates who can paraphrase ideas, change the sentence structure, replace words with suitable synonyms, and convert informal language into formal written English. Avoid copying long phrases directly from text B. Only leave technical terms or proper nouns unchanged if they cannot be rephrased. You should also organize your summary logically instead of copying the exact order from the passage. A good summary usually begins with the general ideas, followed by supporting ideas, and then finishes with the most important points. However, you may change the order if it improves the flow of your writing. Sometimes the summary question asks about two different aspects. In that case, keep all the points for the first topic together, then write all the points for the second topic together. The two sections do not have to contain the same number of points, but both parts of the question must be answered. If the question asks for arguments against something, only include the disadvantages and any better alternatives mentioned in text B. Do not include the advantages or your own opinions because they are not required. Your vocabulary and writing style are equally important. Always use formal language, clear sentence structures, accurate grammar, correct punctuation, and suitable linking words. Avoid informal expressions, text message language, repetition, and unnecessarily long or complicated sentences. Use linking words naturally to connect your ideas. Words such as furthermore, moreover, in addition, consequently, therefore, however, because, while, although, and as well as can improve the flow of your writing. However, don't overuse them because too many connectors can make your summary sound forced. Always keep the word limit in mind. The maximum is 150 words. Anything written beyond this limit is unlikely to be marked, so aim for around 140 to 148 words. Remember that if an important point appears after the word limit, you will not receive marks for it. Good time management is also essential. Spend about 10 minutes reading the question and scanning text B, 5 minutes identifying the content points and planning, 20 minutes writing the summary, and the final 5 minutes checking your grammar, spelling, punctuation, and word count. Finally, avoid the common mistakes that many candidates make. Do not summarize the entire passage when only one topic is required. Do not copy directly from text B, include examples instead of main ideas, repeat the same point, add your own opinions, exceed the word limit, ignore one part of a two-part question, include irrelevant information, or write your final answer in bullet points. Always write one clear, continuous paragraph using formal language. If you follow these steps every time, summary writing will become much easier, and you'll be able to write clear, organized, and high-scoring summaries in your examination.